the fake meta support messages that come in that are like, we're going to shut down your account if you don't pay X, Y, and Z.
The IRS won't call you.
No.
They don't call you if you owe money. They don't call you about needing to update your personal information.
That's the same thing with Google. Hello, and welcome to another episode of Fuck Your Podcast. I'm Emma Pardo.
And I'm Katy Martin. And if you can see me furiously typing on my computer, which I shouldn't be in the middle of the podcast, what we kind of want to talk about is like promoting your business online. Like what are some of the best practices that are going to be most beneficial, and what are ones that are completely fucking annoying and should somehow be blocked. So we're basing this based on personal experience because we obviously run a few companies, right? And have been very successful with promoting, generating business, building an audience for the services that we provide.
Right.
And let's use Facebook as an example, just because everybody knows that Facebook's kind of moving to, that is where we all know that like Facebook is becoming the place where it's becoming more transactional. It is becoming more of a business thing than it was like just a community and social media. Like it still has those aspects.
Well, all of the platforms have switched to a more transactional type deal.
A way to promote business, right?
Yeah.
Like because every platform has like where you can post ads, where you can post campaigns.
Right.
The thing on Facebook. So when you are looking for this is any age that you are, you've probably posted on Facebook like looking for recommendations for a restaurant in a certain city, like when you're traveling, looking for recommendations from anything, because a lot of people in your list are family and friends, so they're going to recommend people that they know, and that's why you do it. So we get recommended. So if people in the industry are looking for a marketing agency, we've been tagged in several posts, probably several dozen at this point. But then it's like, how do you know how to sift through the bullshit with all of the fake profiles out there and people like trying to scam you for money?
Right.
And I didn't realize this, but in looking for a mechanic, the whole mobile mechanic thing is like a huge scam.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't know what other ones might be similar. I'd be curious if anybody puts like comments in this episode, but I was looking for a mechanic, not specifically a mobile mechanic, and not even specifically a mechanic for a car. I specifically said I was looking for a marine mechanic, a boat mechanic, not something that somebody usually comes to you. Usually you have to take your boat to someplace for it to be worked on. And the amount of comments and messages that I had to sift through in like a short period of time was like insane. The same thing comes, and the other thing that's been happening recently is real estate in somebody from Nigeria just calling my cell phone. But which I think is this person texting me right now. Do you still need a mechanic? No, first of all, you got my cell phone number. My cell phone number is pretty public, so I'm not going to be like, how did you get my number? Gasp.
Right.
But like they're messaging me through an email and it's fake. Like everybody was like, I can be there right now. Do you want to book appointment? It's $30 to book appointment. I had at least 10 of those in the span of 30 minutes.
Dude, that's crazy.
At what point does it become unreasonable? And what are some of well, obviously this is a complete scam, but I've seen real estate agents doing similar things, and that was a mixed response that I got. I'm like, how many real estate agents are charging people up front to even go see a house? Like basically where they're paying to go view a house to see if they would even want to submit an application to rent a house. Like they're doing it especially in rentals.
Right.
So, and I've even seen it in the coaching world where it's like they book a call, they charge to book a call. Like, so how do you decipher through what's spam, what's fake, what's real, what's normal lead qualification, and what are the spammy things that drive you nuts that you see when people are promoting a business?
I'm actually really tired, and maybe just because I'm logged into so many different accounts. Like with Facebook, you get notifications for everything, but I'm so tired of seeing like the fake meta support messages that come in that are like, we're going to shut down your account if you don't pay X, Y, and Z. And it just gets annoying because one, it freaks out the people that don't understand that those are spam, but two, you also have to be like not the most self-aware to freak out at those.
Right.
But also at the same time, it's like the people that fall for it, it's frustrating because they go, especially when we're providing those services, they're going, well, what are you doing? Like, you're in the account. I'm not in the account. What are you doing? It's like, no, this is just inevitable that people search these accounts that have been posting and getting more traffic to freak them out, to get them, to trick them into some sort of transactional scam. And so that's the biggest one that I think is just like, and it's some days more than others. And now that I mentioned it, I feel like today is going to be the day we're going to get blown up by all these spam messages. But it's so frustrating. You can see, and I wonder if it's just like a group of people that all do it at the same time. Cause I feel like it's either on fire one day and then the rest of the week is pretty quiet, or it's like pretty consistent throughout the week. And so it makes you wonder if it's like one person, a group of people, and if they're like on some sort of schedule to like hit a certain quota. I don't know. I just get annoyed when I see it though. That's stupid. Like, Facebook is not going to message you if you have a problem with your account. They're going to suspend your account and then tell you why.
It's kind of like the same thing. The IRS won't call you.
No.
Like, they don't call you if you owe money. They don't call you about needing to update your personal information.
That's the same thing with Google. Google does not call you.
Google will not call you. Well, I take that back. Google will call you if you're listed as like the manager over the ads account, but they will also email you to let you know they're trying to call you because they want you to spend more money. So, and Facebook used to do that occasionally, but they would almost never call.
Right. And that's the thing that I think is so frustrating, is like getting somebody's like, oh my God, Google just called me. We need to get this set up on our account. And it's like, Google doesn't call you. I promise it's a scam. Google will not get a hold of you that way.
So no. So it's like, the ones that we get on the company accounts that we manage, it's like, oh, your ads account will be shut down. And here's the thing, like, I mean, I've not researched it enough because it's like, I don't focus on the bullshit that people are doing because we don't do that. And they're super aggressive.
Mm-hmm.
They're super aggressive. That's the thing that's scary with people. And it's like, I don't want to be a dick, but I'm just like, don't call me. Like, stop messaging me. Like, people on Facebook, I'm not going to argue with them. I'm just, as soon as I figure out, here's 7 different ways that you can pay me, because that's what they were trying to get.
Right.
I just block them. But it's like, sometimes you even get people who are like, who will do, like, definitely provide a legitimate service that they are super, super aggressive. I've had that with some freelancers to where I'm like, hey, listen, buddy, I'm still in the discovery phase. I'm not sending you $200 right now to get started on the project that I don't even quite get the grasp that you understand.
Right.
You know? So, and trust me, we have remote team members that are full-time for us. We've still hired freelancers for certain projects. So we're 100% open. Like, this isn't a closed-minded type of thing, because we're happy with the team members that we have. I've had some bad experiences with freelancers, but it's like, at what point do you cross a line with promoting your product or service? Like, right. I mean, come on. So, there's some marketers that are like that, but here's the thing, like, if you focus on the transaction, so let's compare this to like an overall marketing strategy. Mm-hmm. Like, this is something we do for ourselves. This is something that we do for clients. We might have different techniques. Like, if we send someone an email, they may not like that. But again, my email doesn't say anything about book a call with me and pay some sort of fee. Like, it's not right. Like, I'm not trying to cut to the chase, because that's not developing a relationship. Like, at the very beginning of your marketing process. So if we put this into like a lesson, like, people could use this podcast as a lesson for whoever it is that they need to speak to in the marketing, whoever they're marketing to, is that they have to be able to get someone's attention enough to connect with them and tell them a story of something that they can relate to in order to develop a relationship or in order to spark a potential relationship, to see if there's even a potential to work together. It's a process. If you go from, hey, I can do that, here's how much that costs, that turns a lot of people off. And you have to be very careful when you do market online or when you do things online, because you don't want, you don't want it to come across that way, that it's like, oh, this is just some sort of scam. Like, you're signing up for some sort of scam. And honestly, we've had that too. We've even had that in some of the ads we've written for roofing companies, because it's to catch someone's attention. Right. But that's the thing. It'll resonate with the right people. The people that get pissed off is not the ideal client. All the guys that pissed me off this weekend, I'm not their ideal client, because I don't operate that way. Plus, half of them are fake. Exactly. So, but the thing is, I don't purchase things that way. So there's certain things that certain people purchase a certain way, and you have to be communicate that. And if you're always thinking of cutting to the chase to get the buck, your marketing will never work. So
right. That's the thing is that even if like obviously the goal with like marketing yourself or trying to generate leads is like to do what you're doing for yourself, generate the lead. However, you can't approach it from a selfish standpoint. You can't approach it from, well, I need this lead, even though you need this lead. If you're going to position that to the customer, like I need this lead and forcefully push a service onto them, you're going to get someone retracting, but people are going to be turned off to the company. Like you have to position it in a way that you care about what they're going through and know that you have the solution to it, but it's talking to them in a way that they understand, almost like kind of being a therapist for that problem, that specific problem. Obviously not anything personal, but like when somebody's like, oh, I'm not generating enough leads and like nobody's coming to my website and nobody's on my social media, nobody's interacting with me. It's like, okay, I can speak to you about those problems and tell you the solution to those and give you the solution. And if you want to fix it on your own, that's on you. But hey, I'm here if you want to hire me. I'm the expert in this. But again, it's up to you.
Yep. Well, that and here's also like a fine line, right? People who are struggling. So if you're struggling, you it can come across desperate in what you're communicating.
Right.
So that's the importance of being consistent in your marketing. So everybody goes through growing pains. Everyone goes through, the stress of like taking on a lot of business and like trying to figure out how you're going to fulfill it. It's better to do that than it is to be in the position of like doing marketing out of a source of panic.
Right.
Because nothing is, if you haven't done any marketing ever and then you hire someone to do it for you, there's still going to be time associated with that. So it's not an instant fix. So you can run paid ads to get a fairly instant fix, but again, they're also not going to be the leads that are like perfectly, they're not going to be the perfectly like, here is your lead and it's perfect and this person's ready to buy from you.
Custom from you.
Yeah, that's not
work like that.
Right?
Unless they're a referral, pretty damn near.
There's different. That's pretty close. Referrals are for sure. So, but like, yeah, like there's just that level of what's predatory, where do you draw the line? Like where do you feel like in your experience as a buyer, what's the things that if you were to buy a product online, for example, or sign up for, let's say it's something free that could lead to like a free webinar or something like that where it can lead potentially to purchasing something more. What are the things that really catch your attention?
As in,
yeah, like if you thought about the type of buyer that you are, like what are the main things that get you to stop scrolling?
I actually look for other people's experience with it. So for example, it's like when I go to buy something, for example, I did an eyebrow lamination kit and I loved it. I was so curious about it. I was like, I could do this at home because you can spend about $200 doing it, going to like somewhere to get it done.
Right.
But I like to read first on like how doable it is yourself because that always saves you money.
Right.
There are some cons to that, but more times than not, it's going to save you money and it's something that you can learn and you have that resource. But I like to look at other people's experience with it first because if I feel like I can't buy solely on what a company says, just because being in marketing, not everything is what it seems until people start trying it. So like I bought that magnesium powder, which I'm so excited to try tonight. It came in this morning to make like bedtime mocktails. So I have like my flavored water and whatever. I'm going to mix this magnesium in and it helps with like calming you down before bed. And I don't want to go because it sounds so bad. Like if I wanted to sleep, like melatonin does nothing for me.
Sure.
I'll OD on NyQuil and I don't care. But I know that that's like so horrible for me. So I want to find something that's a little bit healthier. So I got this magnesium powder and it's like I went and looked at the reviews on Amazon, but a resource that I've been using a lot is TikTok because more times than not, you're not the first person to run to TikTok about this product.
Yeah.
But you get the honest review and because TikTok's so short form content, it doesn't waste all your time trying to figure out the answer. They're going to be straightforward with you on their experience with the product. So that's what I did last night. I saw the reviews on Amazon for this magnesium powder. I went to TikTok, saw all these ideas that these people were doing with this and the experience they were having with it, and I bought it. It was at my doorstep this morning. So that's
you brought up a good point. You brought up a good point about that. So kind of tie it back to like that ties directly back to what we're talking about. Some people just they need the social proof, right?
Right.
Like that's what you did. And so you and I've talked about it too. Like before I bought there was something before I bought it on. Oh, we both did it with the vacuum cleaner. Remember that?
Oh yeah.
We saw a vacuum cleaner, and then instead of buying it right away, we looked to see on Amazon if it's real, and that's what I've been doing a lot.
Oh, with TikTok Shop.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
TikTok, like
see if it's real first.
Yeah, see if it's real. So buy that. Like I check it on Amazon, and then if I legitimately can see that it's cheaper on TikTok, I know that if I can get it cheaper, but it might take a couple extra days to get, then I'm weighing my options. But at least
live with it.
Right. So it's kind of funny that you brought that up because you go to TikTok to look for reviews where people will, for roofing contractors, they're going to go Google and look for reviews. But here's the thing that most people don't realize, especially with Facebook, because it's such a mixed bag of garbage. There's really good things on Facebook and there are really bad things on Facebook. So on Facebook, most people don't know if you're running Facebook ads, can you get leads if you never post on your Facebook page? You can, but there are a lot of people that will go look at the page before they submit any information. And sometimes the way you set up ads, if it like shows a preview of your page in the form and they can clearly see that you're not active, people aren't going to submit their information. So that's that whole thing of like, can you still attract the right people? But if they don't see validity, and that's the thing, like, how can you tell a fake Facebook profile? Well, I can tell because the profile is brand new and they have 6 friends and they have a bunch of photos that look like they could be ripped off of anybody's Facebook page.
Right.
They have 45 followers.
I love the fake Facebook accounts that are so clearly AI generated. Like and I saw that you accepted this friend request. I thought it was somebody in like the roofing space or the marketing space that just added me last week. It was like some old guy, but I was like, it kind of looks AI generated. But I saw that you were friends with him, so I added him. First thing he does is add me and say, "Hey, where are you from?" I was like, "Nope,
right,
nope,
yeah,
not doing it."
So I'm usually pretty good about that, but I've gotten some Facebook requests lately where I usually do check to see, do we have mutual friends? Do we have and if I don't, then I don't accept a friend request. I've let a couple slip by recently and they immediately messaged me. And then I went back and I'm like, oh, damn it. Like, I'm just trying to make a new friend. It's like, okay. And here's the stereotypical fake Facebook profile. Man in his 40s, pretty attractive, but looks a little older like me, like has the distinguished gray hair, but like
trying to be a silver fox.
Yeah, kind of like a silver fox. And then you go back and look through their pictures and they are either a doctor and or in the military.
Right.
So you see them in the doctor get up and you see them in a military uniform. And it's like they find somebody because they'll pull a couple pictures where it's like he's also with a dog and he's also with a kid.
But they're all like, professional photos. I promise you, anybody that is
professional
got a Facebook page that it's like all professional photos is either 1, a photographer, or 2, they're scammed.
So I'm like, oh man, and then I feel like an idiot where I'm like, oh, of course, now I've accepted this guy's friend request, he's messaged, I just block it on, instantaneously. Right. But it's just like those are the stereotypes. If you're a woman anyway, I don't know what. I imagine that the stereotypes for men getting catfished is like the polar opposite. It's somebody really young and wearing very little clothes.
Yes.
Like there's, they just think that like, oh, all women are going to fall for the, distinguished doctor or man in the military, where they think all men are going to fall for the young girl in a bikini. So it's kind of like the same thing, but in reality, it's somebody from a totally other part of the world behind a computer.
Right.
That doesn't look anything like,
not even close. Not even close.
But that's that whole thing of there's ways to verify, but your business can appear that way. Again, tying it back together. Your business can appear that way if your content's not consistent, and your business can appear that way if you're speaking to people or speaking in a way that's not like authentically building a relationship with your target audience. So like there's ways that legitimate businesses make those mistakes and can look just as spammy as like the crap we've described. But, and everybody's prey to it. It doesn't matter who you are. It's not like these people who were harassing me it's not like oh, they just target old people. No,
Right.
like I put a post out. I put a post out inviting it, and
Right.
then I'm like, then if a couple hours later, I pull the post and I'm like, lesson learned, not doing that again because of all the contact that I got. But it's crazy how many. Like I had, I'll look in my inbox here really quick. I had 6 just from that post.
But all the
Well, there were
comments.
more than that.
You had so many
Well,
comments.
the comments too, but that's only 6. But those were 6 I had to block.
Oh, really?
Because all 6 of them were relentless, and they're like, one guy goes, he's like, where you at? They knew some like slang, like where you at? And I'm like, I live in, and they know where I live because it's on my Facebook profile.
Right.
So I say, I'm like, where are you located? And they'll reply, Godfrey, Illinois. I'm like, okay, what part? I'm like, awesome. What part of town? And one guy said, well, I'm right over by this restaurant. I'm like, nice try. That is 4 towns away. That's at least a 20-minute drive. Like, I know you're looking on Google, but yeah, that's nowhere that I know you're not from here. And so the people that are like, I ready to, like, I can be there. All you got to do is, or they would immediately go, I can get there today. I accept these 7 different forms of payment. And it was like PayPal, Zelle, Apple Pay, Venmo, like
all of them, all the bases covered.
All the bases covered.
You can't reject me. I have every single app.
And it's like, what's your contact info? I just need to book an appointment. One of them was pretty good. He got me down to sending my like he seemed the most legit. Like it sounded local. He was and then he's like, yeah, I just need $30 to book the appointment. And I'm like, oh nope. And I resent unsent the message that he could have screenshotted. I don't know, but like I resent the one with my address and whatnot. And then I'm like, nope. And then I block him.
Yeah.
But then I'm just like, what a fucking pain in the ass. Like, why did I even let it get to that point?
Right.
So, and then finally, I had some people that I knew that either texted me or sent me a DM that's like, hey, this person's actually local.
Right.
Because I'm just not having, there's just not that many around here. So I wasn't having a ton of luck. But on Google, because that's where I started. But you always know, like, stuff like that, there's always somebody that, like, knows a guy, which is what I was going for. But what I got in return was a nightmare.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotta love the internet.
So as far as like even the post where I was like, yeah, not making that mistake again, I still had people messaging me from that post.
Whoa.
There were people that were like, oh, and by the way, and I'm like, yeah, nice try. Like, nice try. And again, you can also tell because they have 3 friends, and they have, so if you're ever looking for a mechanic and you get reached out by somebody who claims to be a mobile mechanic, look at their Facebook page. If they have less than 10 friends, and every single photo is just a bunch of pictures of like
cars,
the hood of a car. Yeah, and cars. It's fake.
Fake news.
It's fake. And I'm sure there's some people that are like, well, look at all the pictures of the cars they've worked on. I'm sure that guy is super knowledgeable.
Nope.
No. So don't spam. Your business is spammy. You're gonna look like that dude, like a bunch of mobile mechanics, or a bunch of fake real estate agents trying to
fake doctor veterans.
Man. Well, the real estate thing was Gabrielle and Abby they were trying to apply for this house that was for rent.
Right.
But they started charging upfront. They were charging upfront for the application fee. And they're like, we don't even know if we want to apply. Why would we pay an application fee
if we don't know if we apply it? Yeah.
But there were a couple real estate agents that are like, why would we go show a house to 10 people that can't afford to pay an application fee? And I'm like, wow, well, that is a way to look at it. And it's like, it's just filtering out and getting better applicants. And it's like, sure. But then you pay the fee, you go and look at the house, and you're like, yeah, I don't want to apply for the house. I don't like it. And then you got to fight with the real estate agent or whoever, property manager, whatever the company is, to get
your money back.
Get your money back. So that why would you do that? But I mean, in every business, I've heard of roofing contractors charging for an estimate or charging for an inspection. I've had coaches charge for the initial consultation where they say it's a refundable deposit, but you're spending an hour of my time.
Right.
So, it's refundable upon, if you move forward, it just gets credited to your first invoice or whatever. And then if you don't, you get a refund. But I think you're just limiting, you come across scamming and you're limiting opportunities, but that's more
right.
That's not necessarily factual. So, but there are just legitimate ways to prevent your business looking super scammy on the internet.
Exactly. All right. Well, We took a little bit of a break there for a second, but hopefully we're back in the swing of things. If you have not subscribed, please do so. We put out new videos, new episodes every week. If you want to hear a topic, if you want some advice, if you just want to chat, you can reach out to us on Instagram at F__K your pod, or you can email me at Emma@99creatives.
Or Katy at 99 Creatives.
If you want to see more business related content, we like to put out some funny stuff, some helpful stuff on our TikTok, which is at _99 creatives. You can also reach out to us on our Instagram at 99 creatives. All right. We'll see you next Friday. Okay. Bye.
Adios.